Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
every #1 song of 2024.
2024 was a great year for music, with historic achievements and a diverse list of singles that dominated the top of the charts. In this video, we look at every #1 single of 2024 on the Billboard Hot 100. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
Wow.
More than 60 years after the original release in 1958, the Christmas classic Rocking Around the Christmas Tree finally reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in December 2023, fueled by the growing dominance of holiday music.
December 2023 is song of 2020. I guess since December, so we're doing the whole year but starting December.
On the streaming platforms, the song achieved over 30 million streams in a single week and climbed to the top of the charts. At 79 years old, Brenda Lee set the record for the oldest artist to top the Billboard Hot 100. Holiday singles are timeless, as they work as long as we celebrate the holiday and come back to prominence each year. Yes, It
Oh, okay, yeah.
End by Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande's Yes End was released on January 12, 2024 as the lead.
Damn, I thought this was like April or something. Time goes by.
Single from her highly anticipated 7th studio album, Eternal Sunshine. The song debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it Ariana's 6th #1 debut and 8th overall chart topper. It was an instant success, as people were waiting for Ari's next release after a quiet few years. Critics praised the song for its infectious dance pop sound, infused with house music elements, drawing comparisons to Madonna's iconic hit Vogue. Lyrically, it's a response to the tabloids
where you compared it to, right?
scrutiny she faced in recent years, particularly about dating her co-star Ethan Slater, as she was being criticized for being a homewrecker when she took him from his wife. Yes and doesn't sound like anything else on the album, and as the lead single, it was misleading.
Yeah, it was very different compared to the rest of the album.
For fans, but when the remix with Mariah Carey was released, it was better received. Lovin' on Me by Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow scored another #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100.
This song came out this year?
Yeah.
Kind of felt as last year.
Yeah.
It was placed very high this year on Billboard. But, okay.
The infectious pop rap anthem Lovin' on Me, which hasn't led to a new album a year later. Released in late 2023, the song's upbeat production and catchy hook made it a viral sensation, particularly on TikTok, where it is in the background of countless videos. The song dominated streaming, now sitting on 814 million streams on Spotify. Many people thought that Jack would fall off since his album Come Home the Kids Miss You didn't really sell as many records as expected, but he continues releasing hit after hit, showing that he's not going anywhere. Hits by Megan Thee Stallion.
Really? She hit one? Wow, good for her.
Megan Thee Stallion's hit, released on January 26, 2024, quickly climbed to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, marking another milestone in her rising career. It was a diss track against Nicki Minaj, and had a few shots against BBL Drizzy too. The Megan's low war really started a firestorm when Nicki felt away, because she was talking about her husband Kenneth Petty, who was
Honestly, I feel like Nicki made this happen #1. If Nicki ignored it, this wouldn't have gone to #1. Because Nicki entertained it, everybody was like, oh, what is this, what is this, what is this? They went to listen to the song. I feel like if Nicki just, wasn't bothered, it wouldn't have hit #1.
a 5-6 offender. The song became a huge topic on the blogs and social media for weeks, even managing to top the Billboard Global 200. In response, Nicki released Bigfoot, one of the worst diss tracks I've ever heard, and flopped spectacularly. Megan didn't
I disagree. I thought Bigfoot was solid. I don't know. I didn't mind it.
see the need to respond after that. This was a moment in time, but it didn't last on the charts, falling off the Hot 100 entirely in just 6 weeks. Texas Hold'em by Beyoncé. Beyonce's Texas Hold'em was her pivot to country music and was released on February 11, 2024 as the lead single, alongside 16 characters to her 8th studio album Cowboy Carter. Her aim to reclaim country music and bring it back to its roots was the reason for the pivot. The song was announced during the Super Bowl halftime show commercial. It debuted at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and eventually climbed to the top of the charts, spending 2 weeks on #1. Some of country radio refused to play it because it was Beyonce, but that didn't stop her from becoming the first black woman to top the Billboard Hot Country chart. For the 2025 Grammys, the song has been nominated for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Country Song. It showed Beyonce's versatility as an artist, as she does great any genre she tries. Carnival by Kanye
This
West
was
and
good,
Ty Dolla $ign.
yeah. This song was good.
Released on March 1, 2024, Carnival by Ye featuring Ty Dolla $ign alongside Rich the Kid and Playboy Cardi. Debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 from the collab album Vultures 1. Kanye was at an all-time low in his career, as he alienated most of his fans and got dropped from his label for loving a certain German leader too much. He debuted the song at a listening party in Chicago, and it had a sample of the rock band Black Sabbath, but Ozzy Osbourne, the lead singer of the band, sent a cease and desist to block the song, so he replaced it with his own song from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Hell of a Life. Carnival was based around a vocal loop of chanting from Inter Milan's Ultras. The song was released independently, and it was surprising when it went to number 1, after Kanye went through a lot just releasing the song.
I mean, the song was really good though. Like, the only song from the album I listened to, so that was a good song.
It even got removed from Apple Music for a while, but its streaming and sales were enough to catapult it to number 1. The song's cover art shows a photo of a screaming skinhead who was stained with blood. You know, it's the weird era of Kanye. TikTok also helped its rise, as it even got to number 1 on the Billboard TikTok charts. The song became a streaming juggernaut on Spotify, accumulating 640 million streams to date. Even though Kanye burned all his bridges, Carnival has managed to be nominated for the Best Rap Song at the Grammys this year.
Wow.
We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love by Ariana Grande. We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love was released on March 15 and debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it Ari's 9th number 1 hit. It was also her 7th number 1 debut, making her the first female artist in history to do that. It is a synth-pop song with Euro-pop influences that became a standout from the album. It also debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Global 200, making it the biggest song from the era, as it has now been certified 2 times platinum in the US. The music video was inspired by the 2004 movie Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, as it shows Ari wiping the memories of a past relationship, only to start all over again. It won Best Cinematography at the VMAs.
Only to start all over again. Shame.
In the year, reaching 1 billion streams on Spotify since its release.
Wow, that's great.
Lose Control by Teddy Swims. Teddy Swims released Lose Control on June 23, 2023, from his debut album I've Tried Everything But Therapy Part 1. The song had a remarkable
I
rise.
thought this never reached number. Didn't we today in the reaction I said, oh, how it never got to number 1?
I didn't see that either.
Debuting at number 99 and slowly climbing to number 1 on March 30, 2024, 32 weeks after its release. Its climb is the longest consecutive climb to number 1 of all time. It also spent 45 weeks in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, which makes it second, only behind The Weeknd.
Yeah, he said it hit one, yeah.
It's Blinding Lights. This song talks about losing yourself in love, always chasing the highs from the lows. It's a beautiful song. I remember Teddy Swims when he was doing covers on YouTube. Now he has one of the most streamed songs of the year, with Lose Control sitting on 1.3 billion streams.
I didn't know he started out as doing covers on YouTube. That's very inspirational.
Spotify. It has also been certified 2 times platinum in the US. Like That by Future and Kendrick Lamar.
Honestly, Kendrick made that song. Should be Kendrick featuring Metro Booming and Future.
Like That was released on April 5, 2024, on Future and Metro Boomin's collab album We Don't Trust You. It featured a surprise Kendrick Lamar verse, which shook up the game and made waves throughout the hip-hop community. He took shots at J. Cole and Drake, saying, "What the fuck the big ring? Nigga, that's just big me." A direct reference to what J. Cole said in First Person Shooter. J. Cole responded to those shots on 7-minute drill and said sorry. But the real target was Drake, as he got the message and responded on his song Push-Ups. That started one of the most exciting beefs of all time, with both artists going back and forth. A song that they could have both dropped an album of disses. That all started with Like That. It was not just a diss track though, it was an absolute banger, as it debuted at number 1 and stayed there for 3 weeks. There was also a Like That remix with Kanye, as he was trying to insert himself in the beef, but no one gave it attention.
I didn't even know it existed either. Yeah.
Keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
The most played songs of 2024, now sitting on 609 million streams on Spotify. Too Sweet by Hozier.
Kind of crazy that like this and Teddy Swims' songs, they only hit 1 week at number 1, but they're like on really the staples on the Billboard list though. Yeah. Even throughout Christmas season, they're still like in the top 20s, like crazy.
Too Sweet was released on March 22, 2024 as the second single from Hozier's 5th EP, Unheard. He first teased the song on TikTok in a clip of him drawing a sketch of a skeleton. The song has a killer bass groove and blends soul and pop rock into a unique sound. It is very catchy, which helped it debut at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reaching the top of the charts 3 weeks later, as it was his second top 10 hit since the song that put him on the map back in 2013, Take Me to Church, which peaked at number 2 a decade earlier. He also became the first Irish artist to top the Billboard Hot 100 since Sinead O'Connor in 1990, with nothing compared to Too Sweet became a global hit, as it is one of the most streamed songs of the year, reaching 1.1 billion streams on Spotify in a matter of months. Fortnight by Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone. Taylor Swift teamed up with Post Malone for...
Right, but for example, this song, 2 weeks at number one, and it's no longer for be found. It wasn't even on the list, I think, since we started reacting to the list. So it kind of fell off real quick.
Fortnight, the lead single from her latest album, The Tortured Poets Department. She first announced the album in her Grammy-winning speech, and Fortnight was the first taste of that. The song broke the record for the highest single-day streams on Spotify the day it was released. In the US, it debuted at the top of the Billboard Hot 100, making it Taylor's 12th and Posty's 5th number one song. It was also Taylor's 5th number one single on the Billboard Global 200. At the 2025 Grammy Awards, it has been nominated for Song of the Year and Record of the Year. The song was released with a black and white music video, which had Easter eggs all over it. It won a lot of awards, including Video of the Year at the VMAs and Best Video at the MTV EMAs. Fortnight was a streaming hit, accumulating 763 million streams on Spotify. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar and Drake gave us one of the most personal and deep beefs in hip-hop history. They both hit each other with a back-to-back, and after Drake dropped Family Matters, and Kendrick replied 20 minutes later with Meet the Grams, the back and forth seemed to be over, as it got into a very dark place. But a couple of days later, Kendrick dropped his victory lap, the upbeat and fun Not Like Us, which was an instant hit. It debuted on number one on the Billboard Hot 100, and also broke records, earning the biggest single-day streams, and the most song streams in a week.
Smashes record for most streamed rap song in a day. Oh, wow.
For a hip-hop song, records that were held by Drake, it has now accumulated 145 million streams on Spotify, which is remarkable for a diss song in which he was calling Drake a pedo. Drake has now launched a lawsuit because of the song against his label UMG for pushing it using bots to bring about his demise. That's a first in rap beef history. I Had Some Help by Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen.
6 weeks.
Post Malone teamed up with Morgan Wallen for I Had Some Help, the lead single from his sixth
I haven't seen Shaboozey
studio album by Fortnight, released on May 10, 2024. The song debuted at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 with the highest weekly sales and streams since 2020, as it was one of the catchiest songs released in the year. It became Posty's sixth number one song, and Morgan Wallen's second. Country music is having a moment, not just in the US, but worldwide, as the song also debuted on number one on the Billboard Global 200. It had a historic performance on radio, and did well on streaming too, now reaching 822 million streams on Spotify. It also had a lasting impact, staying at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 for 6 weeks. Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter has had a breakthrough 2024 after she dropped Espresso, the most streamed song of the year, which incredibly only peaked at number 2. But the
it was Espresso, not Teddy Swims, that peaked at number 2. Yeah, it was Espresso. Okay.
Follow-up Please, Please, Please was released on June 6, 2024, and debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, marking a huge achievement in her career, as it was her first chart topper. It was produced by super pop producer Jack Antonoff, and had the sick bass line and a country pop vibe. It was accompanied with a music video starring Barry Keoghan, whom she was dating at the time, and was having a high point in his career when his movie Saltburn became a cultural phenomenon. The two of them then had a messy breakup. The song has now been streamed more than 1 billion times on Spotify and has been certified 3 times platinum by the RIAA. After 10 years of grinding, Sabrina finally hit the pinnacle of mainstream music.
Ooh, 19 weeks, that's how it's done. Ooh, hopefully we get to 20 after Christmas.
By Shaboozey. Shaboozey made history with a bar song Tipsy in 2024. It served as a 4th single from his album, Where I've Been Isn't Where I'm Going. He has been buzzing in the underground and got his focus when he was featured on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter, but Tipsy changed his life, climbing to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song then became a huge hit, tying Old Town Road as the longest running number 1 song of all time on the Billboard Hot 100, spending 19 weeks at the top of the charts, the most by a solo artist. The hook was an interpretation of J-Quan's 2004 single Tipsy, cleverly turning the whole vibe into country. That helped the song appeal to a wide audience, both hip-hop and country fans. The same thing Old Town Road did. It then came full circle when he performed this song with J-Quan at the BET Awards. When the song got to number 1 on the hot country charts, it succeeded Beyonce's Texas Hold'em, and that was the first time in history that 2 black artists held the number 1 position in 3 consecutive weeks. The song was also a streaming hit, accumulating 165 million streams since its release. Love Somebody by Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen came back at the end of the year when he released Love Somebody on October 18, 2024 as the second single from his upcoming 4th studio album. The song managed to debut at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Morgan's 3rd number 1 and his first solo.
It debuted at number 1. It kind of fell off pretty fast though. It wasn't his best hit, I feel like.
Single to debut at the top of the chart. Country music's influence on the Hot 100 has been growing in recent years, and Morgan's success was a big part of that, as he sells out arenas consistently. He is now one of the biggest artists in the US, and the album he released last year is the second best-selling album of 2024, moving more than 3 million units in the US. Squabble Up by Kendrick Lamar. When the music video for Not Like Us was released, it started off with a snippet of another West Coast style song. The snippet went crazy on TikTok, with people just calling it brawly, and everyone was asking what is that song. As it worked in the background of Crib Walk dance video, the song ended up being Squabble Up, the second track on Kendrick Lamar's surprise album GNX. The song was released with a music video and became the lead single from the album. When we finally heard the song, there was a sample of Debbie Deb's 1984 song, When I Hear the Music, that works as the pre-chorus. It ended Shaboozey's record-tying 19-week run at the top when it debuted on number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Did Shaboozey dirty.
All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey's holiday classic, All I Want for Christmas Is You, finally hit number 1 in December 2019, 25 years after its initial release. The song has always been a Christmas favorite over the years, dominating every holiday season. It set the record for the longest climb to number 1 in Billboard history. Its chart-topping success cemented its place as the ultimate Christmas anthem and one of Mariah's signature songs. It comes back to the top spot every year, now accumulating 16 weeks on number 1. Thank you.
Woo! Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.